Working in the news, we often cover crime stories and we talk about the criminals and the victims. But the faceless victims we never really hear about are the children of inmates left behind when their parents go off to prison.
And this week's Pay It Forward segment, we meet a man who spent nearly 2 decades, 17 years behind bars. He left behind 2 young daughters. Now a free man and a member of society, he wants to give those children left behind a second chance.
I've been lucky and blessed throughout my whole life, even though it doesn't sound like it.
Karl Winsness runs Karl's Affordable Plumbing out of his home in West Valley. This is a far cry from where he lived 10 years ago.
Willie was a little bit of a knucklehead, running around pretty hard in parties. I always had a strong work ethic, but I partied a little too much, probably.
Karl used to be known as Willy the Plumber. That was before drugs took over his life years ago.
Then in 1988, they did a no-knock, no-announce search warrant. Kicked in my door. It turned out there was like about 8 police officers kicking in my door. One of them got shot.
Karl says he didn't know he was defending himself against police, only that he was under attack, but it was his bullet that nearly killed a police officer. And for that, he was sentenced to 5 years to life.
Lisa and Jamie, there's about 16 and 11 when I got incarcerated.
He left behind 2 daughters to be raised without a father, and while behind bars, he realized that the children often suffer for the decisions made by their parents.
So the kids are pretty much the forgotten victims behind the whole thing.
But 17 years later, Karl was released, and he had a plan. He wanted to help children of inmates have a better future.
There's over 6,000 inmates. There's probably close to 7,000 inmates.
He created the Willy the Plumber Scholarship Fund.
Most of it comes out of my pocket, but I've gotten family and friends that's donated, strangers have donated.
And just this year, he gave away his first scholarships to children of inmates.
We gave out 4 scholarships. There was at least 4 or 5 more scholarships that we could have gave out easily.
Maybe we can help get him to his goal of more scholarships. So, Karl, meet Marshall Papke, Mountain America Credit Union.
We're glad to give you this money. It's $500, and it can go towards your foundation. Giving those children an opportunity to make their life what it can be is a very honorable thing, and we appreciate what you're doing.
Well, Willy the Plumber's Scholarship Fund is online. If you can help give these kids a chance, if you want to help out Willy, Karl, we have a link to his website on ours.
Just go to KUTV.com and then click on Pay It Forward, and while you're there, you can nominate someone you know who's doing great things in the community.